2017 just around the corner, and with a businessman in the White House and a Republican-controlled Congress, some experts are forecasting a sweeping overhaul of the tax code. But could one obscure congressional committee stand in the way? The Joint Committee on Taxation is supposed to be a nonpartisan panel. It's tasked with scoring a tax bill's expected impact on the economy and the budget. So could they knock out any meaningful Trump tax cuts? Here to discuss this, Steve Forbes, editor-in-chief of Forbes magazine, a man who knows everything about tax. I think your unconscious is absorbed with taxes, and I'm wondering if this idea of a joint economic committee looking over with these green eye shades, looking over a Trump tax plan might ruin it.
What you have to do is just shove them aside. They've made some progress in recent years in getting what they call dynamic scoring. That is, realizing when you reduce tax burdens, it helps the economy, not hurt it, or have no impact at all. So they're a little better on that, but not much. What you have to do is figure out what's going to get this economy moving in a big way, immediate way, do it, and then leave the eye-shade people, as you put them, do the scoring, but don't let them dominate the debates.
Well, I'm glad to hear that they've improved, because they used to be the same kind of economists that poo-pooed Reagan's tax cuts and called it voodoo economics and said it would never do anything for the economy.
Improve. They're slightly better, but not nearly what it should be.
On a scale of 1 to 100, they went from 0 to maybe 3 or 4?
Oh, maybe 6. We're in the Christmas season.
Okay, but what got the Reagan tax cuts through these blue eye shade or the green eye shade people is Ronald Reagan himself. He had a core fundamental belief in the power of tax cuts. Giving money back to individuals would make the economy stronger. He believed that if it was your money given back to you, if you could keep more of what you made, you'd spend it wisely and invest it wisely. Is Donald Trump, does he have that same core conviction that Ronald Reagan did on taxes?
I hope so, and certainly the signs are that he realizes the need to reduce tax rates, because you get two big impacts. One is people keep more of what they're currently earning, but also by reducing the burden on people who want to do things, you enable people to have the prospect of better jobs in the future, higher incomes, more businesses, more opportunities. So you get two bangs. The immediate one, you keep more, but also you're laying the foundation for future prosperity. First president in modern times to realize that after the 1920s was John Kennedy, who finally, after trying all these Keynesian, and Larry Kudlow's got a good book on that, after trying all of these Keynesian nostrums, realized finally a year and a half in his presidency this stuff's not working, and went for radical tax cuts. And if Trump does the same thing, you'll get the same kind of impact that you had with Kennedy and with Reagan, a booming economy, and by golly, that gives you a lot of capital.
I'm glad you used the term radical, because it is radical. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with being radical when it's going in the right direction. But you mentioned Larry Kudlow's name. He is a radical tax cutter. He was part of the Reagan team that finally pushed it through. But he's so far not on the Trump team. People were hoping that he'd be on long before now. What's happened there?
Don't know. There's the Council of Economic Advisors, the chairman, that still is open. No appointments have been made there. Maybe he's going to go there, maybe the Fed, who knows. But having him on board would be good, especially with the Council of Economic Advisors, because that's sort of more of a think tank in terms of providing input that is going to be needed, especially with Congress. You know, Washington is, for good things, is lethargy. Bad things they seem to get through pretty quickly. But lethargy on good things, slowness on good things. So if they get the push saying this is going to be all right, we've got to do it, and by golly, what they have to realize, just put the economics aside, politics. 2018, if we don't have a good booming economy, the Republicans are going to get shellacked. The reason that's bad is not just perhaps losing control of the Senate or the House, but you have governorships. Over 35 governorships coming up in 2018. They set the tone for the census of 2020, redrawing congressional districts. If they lose those governorships, well, forget it.
One thing we've heard that might hurt Republicans, because if you don't get a tax cut in the first year, maybe even in the first half of the year, you might have a slow economy. Some people say, well, we have to delay the tax cuts, first do changes with Obamacare, maybe have some business tax cuts, but not individual tax cuts.
Politically, you have to do both, and you get a bang from both when you lower tax rates across the board. This is what Kennedy did. In fact, he did more on the personal side. He couldn't get what he wanted on the business side. Got some, but not fully what he wanted.
I'm paying 40% right now in federal taxes, and you add everything else up, and it's over 50%. I want a cut in my income taxes, and I think just about everybody out there does.
Yes, and you can design it in a way in which you get immediate bangs, like reducing sharply the capital gains tax. The nice thing about that is you get immediate revenue. You don't have to wait for investments to mature for 3 or 4 years. That's immediate every time.
Steve Forbes, we got to leave it at that, but I hope Donald Trump is listening right now, and I hope we get those tax cuts. And guys, you don't want to miss Forbes on Fox. It airs Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Fox News channel. We got the star right here.